All right, man. We back, man. You know what I'm saying? HasBeens Podcast. What is it? Episode? Jesus. I think this is episode 9, man. HasBeens Podcast, episode 9.
Season 2.
Season 2, you already know, man. HasBeens Podcast. We back in the building. It is episode 9. It's your boy. Happy to be back. Another week in the game. I don't even know what to call myself this week, man. I'm just the one, man.
Trash.
Already started, man. It's your boy Can Will, man. Make sure you go follow me everywhere on social media. Can Will made it, man. Make sure, and if you tuned into that Xbox, man, add me, Try Killer Cam, man. We in the war zone, man. We everywhere. We on the FIFA. The FIFA just dropped. Holla at me. Got my dog in the building, man. DP the Hun, man, the fitness guru, yes. the international model, yeah. the just the guy, man.
Come up with more stuff. Keep
that's it. I'm done. It's my guy Daton, man. Appreciate coming in, man. What's good, guy?
Man, nothing much, man. Just back, everybody's favorite guest.
I don't know.
It's this podcast.
You do well. You do well.
Treating it like it's mine.
Everybody does tend to enjoy you. Yeah. Those episodes tend to do well.
Well, I enjoy being here, man.
I'm glad you're here, man.
I do what I can do when I can do it,
And we got another sucker on. You don't see anybody in the building, but it's somebody here, man. I got a good friend of mine, man. I think he done pulled through once, maybe. I can't remember. He's a legend. This guy is man, I don't even want to talk about him, man. This is my dog here, man. He hailing from the great city of Augusta, Georgia, man. It's my dog, Real Steve, man, joining us via Zoom. What's good, my guy?
What's good, my boy, man? Glad to be on, bro. Just staying safe, corona-free. Everybody wear y'all masks. And also, man, everybody vote.
I was about to say,
everybody vote. Everybody wear your mask, man.
Have y'all? I ain't got out there, but I gotta take a trip down the road. I gotta travel some miles to get to the vote, but I'm gonna go probably tomorrow and get my vote, and then you vote here.
You can do your mail-in ballot.
I don't even I don't even trust it. It's just too much funny business going on in the world.
Fair enough. I'll take that.
Yeah. I'm just going to hand deliver the package, man. I'm gonna hand deliver the package, man. Make sure y'all go out there and vote, man. Due to my contract, man, I can't tell y'all who to vote for, man. I'm tied to a contract, man. It sucks. I'm in a bad deal, man. Get me out of here, man. HasBeens Podcast episode. Oh, Real, tell them where they can find you at, bro, and talk a little bit, man. Where you can find you at, bro?
Hey, man, J Steve on Twitter. I don't do the Instagram thing, man, but you can find me on Twitter, J Steve or J_Steve_22. You can find me on Facebook, Real Steve. Hey, man, we got a whole lot of people who in our Facebook group, Wildcard Sports Talk group, man. I need everybody who in that group. Check everybody out on YouTube, subscribe, like, all that, man. We got the group booming, man. We got to get the group. We got to get the YouTube booming like we got the group, man.
Come on, man. That moment of silence is coming, man.
Yes, sir, man.
Mm-hmm.
Moment of silence.
I'm waiting on it.
Moment of silence. You ready for it?
I'm ready for it.
Man, what I need y'all to do right now, moment of silence, man. Shout out to our social media, like J Steve just said, man. Our numbers, they coming up. We up and coming, man. I can't complain. We continually growing. We staying consistent. We gonna keep rocking, but we need y'all help. We need y'all to subscribe. We need y'all to tap into everything we doing. Right now, it's just a pod, but Wildcard Sports is bigger than just a.
Support.
Yeah, man. So we need y'all.
Free.
Support is really free, man. We not asking y'all for a dime.
Support.
We just need y'all to go on to the YouTube, go on to all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Type in Wildcard Sports. I need you to go and type in the HasBeens Pod on all social media and make sure you click the follow button, man. Just follow us up. Make sure you like all the photos. Leave a comment. And just, give us some support, man. And then most of all, we need you to go to YouTube, subscribe to Wildcard TV.
Like the videos.
Like the video.
Watch the video.
If you want some subscribers, it's all in your videos.
Share the video.
Liking the shit. Commenting all on your shit. Come to Wildcard TV, man. So we going to give y'all a moment of silence, man, to tap into us on your favorite social media platforms. Tap in with us on YouTube, man, and tap in with us on your favorite podcast streaming platform. Let's get it.
Push the goddamn button!
Push the button, man. HasBeens Podcast, episode 9, man. We back in the building, season 2, man. It's been a long time. I'm back again another week, man. What happened this week, man? What's anything just weird happened to y'all since I ain't seen y'all in a while, so I guess any story will help here.
Shit, man, 2020.
It's just a motherfucker, ain't it?
Hey, man, the downfall of Georgia sports.
Yeah.
That's not really weird, though. That's not really weird.
That ain't weird.
That's call that weird.
I seen you tweet too. You was trying to sacrifice them Falcons on Sunday to get that dub.
Hey, man, we trying to sacrifice anything for the Braves to get a dub, man. It just ain't work. It just down bad, man. The curse of Georgia sports, man.
Now my boy Daton, he is a true AT alien. What is it, AT alien? Whatever it is, you are tried and true. You've been here your whole entire life outside of the great years you spent at Tuskegee University, man. How's it feel, bruh?
You see how I'm looking?
Yeah.
I'm used to it.
Yeah. Well, I ain't even had this on the docket when I told you I was going to smoke you, but this one right here going to start the seat hot already, my boy.
You can't get a rise out of me when it comes to Atlanta sports, though, man, because listen, as much as we would like to be a sports city, we just, we need owners. Well, you know what, I'm in regards to the Hawks. We need owners that really care about winning and care about the team, but as far as the Falcons go, I haven't watched football in about 3 years, but I hear the rumblings because I'm in the city, so I know what's going on with the team.
You hear the rumblings?
I've been trying to tell people about Matt Ryan, man, for forever. If they were smart, they should have got rid of him at his peak. We should have got him out of the city at his peak.
Yeah, he definitely on the back end of it.
The Super Bowl, he showed you everything you needed to know. Everything you needed to know. You should have got his ass out of here then. So it's more of a I told you so situation. And then you got Julio. He down there with them QC boys fucking around. He gambling and he with rappers now. His career going down the drain.
Julio, he is not. I've been telling my boy, he's not hurt. We've seen
fed up, man.
We've seen Julio play through more injuries than the late great Kobe Bryant.
Look, man,
rest his soul.
Been down there in them strip clubs.
He probably. I seen Julio and Cheetah one night.
He's been down in dice games. He all in the tour and shit. I mean, listen. They not keeping the players focused.
It's because you got a bunch of businessmen. Arthur Blank. What's the Schlink? No, that's the Schlink is the dude who he not the owner. He the GM, right? The Hawks. What's the Hawks owner name? What's his name?
Nah, we got a few owners.
It's a group.
It's a group.
Oh, business.
Like the lady that owns Spanx. I always forget her name, but she's one of the owners.
Really?
And she don't know shit about basketball.
Yeah, man, that's just the problem, man.
It's like a it's more of an investment for that group. They know that sports is hot. It's a great investment for a team. They don't really care about winning like that. So
it's sad because
it's that Atlanta lifestyle, man, catching up to a lot of these.
Here's the question I got, because see, I'm coping with this. Cause see, I understand y'all probably used to this, but I planned on rooting up here, my guy. This is where I wanted to set my groundwork and move forward. I wanted to set up wild card sports. I want to, they got shit going on in LA. They got shit going on in NYC. Yeah. I'm from the South, man. I said, man, we gonna do it right here in the A.
Yeah.
But I think about this though. I gotta have some children one day, and I ain't gonna force nothing on my kids. I done already made that decision. So if you grow up in a city, I had to come to grips in my head. They might be Falcons fans, Hawks fans. I don't know if I can do this though. I can't. Man, Child Protective Services come get me. I raise some children as Falcons fans, man.
Listen, I will say this: there are worse franchises to be fans of.
We talked about this. I don't know. I don't know. The people say the Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls. Y'all been to 2 in your life. You can't. I don't know if y'all worse than what Cleveland.
Hey man, the worst part about Atlanta, man, is they really will set you up to the point where you think you on the cusp of winning. Everybody, all these other franchises, I'm a Kings fan. We're perennial losers. I'm used to losing. There's never a time where, as a Kings fan, we are on the cusp of winning and we just blow it the magnitude that these Atlanta teams do it, man.
Yeah, man.
I mean, it's
y'all getting the players, the opportunity.
Yeah, man. The Atlanta just blow it, man.
Y'all, it's the city, man. I told you, y'all ain't nothing gonna happen good to Atlanta sports until Martha Blank do right by Michael Vick.
I can get with that.
Y'all stop all that scamming.
Can't get with that because they're scamming everywhere. Shit, most of the scammers in New York and in LA. Let's get it right.
And number 3, they got to stop packing these clubs out during COVID, man.
Hey, man, people living free.
Until we do this out in Atlanta, man, it ain't going down.
You just need to focus on keeping these players out the club.
They in the club. That's what I'm saying. They out here scamming in the club.
Keeping them away from these IG models.
It's rough.
These strippers.
It's rough.
Keep the coke out their nose.
It's a lot going on, man.
Keep the weed out their system during the season.
How my boy Steven they say?
Nah,
you ain't quoting Steve. We need a new line. Then we got to get a new line. Just stay off that. Stay focused.
Stay focused.
I think that's DJ Khaled. We gonna bring it back. Stay focused.
Yeah, stay focused. That's all.
They not focused out here in Atlanta, man.
I mean, we're gonna be all right.
You sure?
Hopefully.
Okay, okay. I just needed to see where your confidence was, and we gonna make it.
I'm always optimistic. I'm just not. Listen. I take it with a grain of salt. I'm just waiting on the final.
Yeah, there's a bunch of. Is Atlanta just a place where your career comes to just end and just be done?
No.
Is this a place no, you're right.
I say you begin your career in Atlanta.
Come here. Make your name.
Yeah, you make a name yourself,
and get out.
You go off and you win.
But if you come here and you stay, you're gonna be a has-been real fast.
I think Trae Young, he gonna be all right.
Because he coming to LA. We already got the groundwork set. Once you get Anthony Davis in, so when he a 32-year-old stud, and he at the top of his career, his unibrow is at his full peak, he gonna be recruiting a guy like Trigger Trey.
He ain't gonna have to, man. He got Trae on clutch, man. You should get the clutch, man.
Trey clutch?
I think he is, man.
Trey, we got to check the agent. I got to get me a new stat man. I need a stat man that can get me them type of figures, man. He clutch. Oh, it's over with.
Yeah, man. Trey clutch, man. Trey clutch. Man.
That's a clutch decision. but speaking of has-been,
once you get on clutch, man, it's a wrap, man. It's a wrap.
You LA bound or LeBron bound, and when LeBron retire,
Trey right in there.
So listen, what's up?
We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Go ahead.
Because I want to talk about has-beens, man.
Go ahead, do that.
Because people always ask me, and I don't think I ever explained to them what a has-been was. Okay. What the name means. Mm-hmm. I think the guy right here actually on the mic, this is a perfect episode for this guy to be on. Because the has-been name been here for a while, right?
Way before it was ever even put in the...
Way before it was a podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We've been has-beens before it was a podcast, man. Has-beens for me, I'm going to see what y'all think a has-been is, but for me, being a has-been is just kind of being able to celebrate. Like, just kind of celebrate your accomplishments and just be cool with being done with whatever it is you're doing, not even sports. Just kind of like if you're done with it, just kind of being able to look back and appreciate it. That's what I think being a has-been is.
I think that's called being a legend.
No. See, that's why I named it Has-Beens Pod, man, because for me, no matter how big or small, you know, you can look back at your little, you know, accomplishments, man, and be proud of them, bro, and not trip. And so, you know, that's why I just embrace being a has-been, bro. Because whatever it is, man, you know, I put my best into it, bro. Yeah. That's my little sentimental, like, little for the day. What you think a has-been is, though?
A washed-up ass. A washed-up ass player or professional that used to be good at something and they no longer good at it.
I call them just wash laundry.
Said you need the next step with HasBeens Podcast. You need to get you a bunch of has-been ass players, some Andre Risings, you know, who else? Some Sebastian Telfairs, those type of people. Get them up here, talk about they once successful but ultimately failed career.
Andre Rising was on that. Where he was at? Where he was at? Where Andre Rising was at when it went downhill for him?
In the A.
Regardless of that, though, nobody
in the A.
Andre Rising was around here fucking around with Suge, trying to do music deals, running labels. You know, I'm telling you, it's the lifestyle. You get them every time. Everybody want to come down here and, you know, motherfuckers want to turn into a rapper.
They be like Dwayne. Oh man, they like Dwayne Bacon, but he out there in Charlotte. I don't know why he out there rapping in Charlotte.
Who?
Dwayne Bacon.
Yeah.
Some of them. See, I think it don't even matter where they go now. They gonna just rap.
Yeah, man.
They gonna just rap.
It don't matter. They gonna get in that booth.
They gonna get in the booth.
I don't mind that as long as, you know, if you work out, you know, you stay in shape and you make sure you practicing your real craft way harder than you do rapping or whatever, and you making sure that you elevating as far as your skill set goes, then it's fine. You know, everybody needs hobbies. But listen, I need you getting better at the same time. I don't want no, you know, your fire ass mixtape. That's cool. You need that fire ass handle and that jump shot too.
I want to play a game. I want to play a game with y'all. I'm the G. No. Y'all the GM. I'm going to give you 2 player scenarios. I want you to tell me as a general manager, coach, higher up in the organization, how you going to approach this player. I'm going to start with my guy, Dame Dollar.
Okay.
Nah, that's too easy. Let's go. I'm going to dig into the archive, Meta World Peace, a.k.a. Ron Artest. Ron was rapping, man. Remember Ron was rapping?
No, I don't. I don't like to, but yeah, I somewhat remember that.
J Steve.
I remember him rapping, man. I remember, man.
You remember? All right, you the general manager of the Indiana Pacers, man. Ron not performing up to the standards on the court, but he dropping mixtape after mixtape, and they blazing. They hot. How you approaching Ron, man?
I'll let J Steve go first.
No, I ain't approaching Ron, man.
He got his own. He got his own scenario.
Okay.
So I'm the player. I'm Ron, man. You call me in the office. Yeah, I am.
Boy, I sure hope that tape going number 1. Your ass out of here. You are out of here.
It's like that. Coach.
You are out of here.
Coach, you ain't. I mean, you not putting me in position. I ain't getting the playing time I need.
Now, I'm going to put you in position. I'm going to put you in position to top every musical chart out there.
Coach.
You in position. You knew what you had to do. You signed that contract. You knew what was expected, son. No, sir.
So we ain't playing no games with him.
You ain't playing no games.
So if it's a player, he not performing, you get him straight out of there.
Oh, yeah, you gone.
No warnings, nothing.
Listen, I heard the baby and them got a tour coming up. I think you will be perfect for it. You have plenty of time. You're not going to be in here.
All right. Okay. Steve, I got one. I think you would like this one. Dwayne Bacon.
Oh, man.
Dwayne Bacon just dropped his new mixtape, man. It's the training camp, man. Y'all 3rd game into the preseason. He just struggling. He's shooting 29% from the field, man. He just averaging 3 turnovers a game in 15 minutes, man.
Hey, man, I got a question. What's his contract?
He on his rookie deal.
Oh man, he out of here. He get released. We ain't even trade
First
him.
round
So
pick, though.
you
He a
gotta
first
trade.
round
You gotta
pick.
trade World Peace because he got some value. Dwayne Bacon, man, we just gonna give you this bus ticket, man. You don't even get no plane ticket. Here go your bus ticket, man. You just
So it's no space on if he not performing, he can't rap at all.
nah, man. He can't rap. He hey man, you know it's some leverage
What
and
if he
leeway
golf?
you gotta
What about the guys who
establish.
trash and like golf?
What you mean?
Like any trash basketball player that just be golfing on the weekends. Same. Well, not trash, but it's like it's not performing well. But he golfing on the weekend.
Hey, listen.
What's the difference?
You trying to go play in the Masters over there with Tiger and them?
Any extracurricular, he better keep it off the gram. Is that what it is? Keep it off the gram.
Listen, just don't let it affect your career. You know, if you committed to basketball and this team, and you know we spending this salary cap on you, then you need to perform.
Okay. All right. That's good. I had to get that one out there. I was having a little fun today, but I got some serious questions, basketball related questions to ask. I mean, I was sitting here thinking, you know, it's all season time. You know what time it is. All the capologists come out, all the trade machines come out, all the trade experts come out, all the rumors come out, who going where, you know, who got what space. But it's just one thing that stood out to me in this, and like looking at this, it's just a simple fact that we really know how much each and every last athlete, not just basketball player, athlete makes, right? But these are private companies, right? All these teams are private companies, right?
For the most part, I guess.
I think so. I just kind of, I guess, if we could just be pretty much just kind of keep it standard. Most of these companies are private companies, right? These teams.
Right.
Yeah. For the sake of argument, let's.
For the sake of argument. Why do we know these players' financials down to the T, and not the executives, and not the trainer and the owner and the GM and the security staff, but you know the players? It never made sense to me why we know exactly how much these players make.
I think because when you get into the discussion of cap space and you know how much money teams have to operate with when they're acquiring players, I think it kind of creates like a better picture of why certain players are pursued and some are traded, and you know it helps create a storyline and a scenario around what's going on with the money.
Right.
Or what's going on with the franchise when it comes to the roster.
Yeah, and for me, like you said, I think it does create a story. Like it paints a picture of kind of what's going on and what the team can do, and creates narratives around why the team can do it.
Right.
But when you sit back and really look at the actualities behind of it, and you know, once you start bringing up all the mid-level exceptions and trade clauses and exemptions and I mean, just throw out some, you know, just all the different things that you can maneuver your financials that has nothing to do actually with that hard cap. You know, they create this identity, this idea that there's this hard cap and all the players fit under it. But year in, year out, you know, like, you know, you heard Jared Dudley say, like, the Lakers can go over the cap, you know, they got a TV deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, the money's coming from alternate places and it's not just all under this cap. But it's this narrative, like you say, created around these players. It's a lot of pressure, I think, put on players. You see, like Dak Prescott, to take money. And, you know, when every year, I think if you look into it, Jerry Jones, I think I heard this somewhere, not sure where I heard it. Jerry Jones bakes in, like, in every contract, the ability to, like, restructure the contracts yearly, right? So they do that to every year, restructure everybody's contracts to maneuver and massage to get under the cap, right? And you just never really know how much people are making.
Right.
You know, somebody might get $6 million that year. You know, you might take a haircut here. You just never know what's really going on.
Especially in football.
Yeah, but I think the reason they do it, and this is my opinion, is I think it's a way to control and control the narrative. I think it's a way to control the players. It's because
In football, I'll definitely say it's a narrative, man, because you watch every year in, year out, where somebody acting like they've topped, like a player has like topped the market or something. Somebody will say, hey, man, look at Ryan Tannehill and all the money he got, not knowing that, I mean, he only getting what he's guaranteed, like it might say 100. I'm not sure what his contract is. And it might should say 115. And you're like, damn, man, Ryan Tannehill top the market. He's at the top of the quarterback market, but he got $30 million guaranteed. Whereas you might look at somebody like, I don't know,
your boy Kirk.
Yeah. Or even Kirk, you know what I'm saying? Like Kirk got 3 years, but all Kirk years are guaranteed. So, somebody will look at Tannehill and be like, man, he's top the market with his money. Whereas somebody like Kirk fly under the radar and actually is getting more money because it's guaranteed for him. I think a lot of them do that for the narrative to make it look like they're really paying these players something that they really not.
Yeah. And that's why I think Dak Prescott, that's why I brought him up. I think he realizes he fired his old agent, hired a new one. And he gonna get every dollar he is deserving of. You feel me? Because he understands that just because they give you like you say, a 40. What is it? What did Mahomes sign for? $500 million.
500, yeah.
You feel me? He not gonna.
He's not gonna get to that contract. He gonna opt out and get another one.
I mean, either that or if there's ever a slip in his play,
they gonna restructure. Right?
They probably, I think it was a 200 and something guaranteed. I think.
Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And that'll cover them the next 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
Through his prime, and then if he's still anything, we got control. We got control over until he fall off a cliff, and then that $500 million deal could easily turn into 250. 300.
That's it, and that's it.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
Yeah. But I think it's publicized strictly for the narrative and who knows? It may have something to do with Vegas and they spreads and shit. You just never know.
I know J Steve. Speaking of Vegas, I know J Steve believe in certain things being fixed.
Oh yeah, man. Oh, no doubt.
So off topic, do y'all actually think sports can be fixed?
Most definitely. Back in you have refs that came out, NBA refs that came out and said that they used.
Hey, me and my boy Cam, Scott Foster, man.
Scott, yeah, that is a thing for me.
Scott Foster, man. Scott Foster.
I think it's a little more difficult. I mean, you have people like Michael Franzese, who was old mafia boss, ex-mafia boss, but he came out and said, yeah, the mafia used to control sports. It's a little harder today because
technology, I think.
Not even technology, but players get paid more. So
the
way they would get caught up is they would gamble a lot, and they had these big gambling debts to pay off. And when they couldn't pay the debts, it'd be like, all right, well, listen, the way you're gonna work it off is you're gonna shave some points on the next game, to help me with my spreads when I bet. So and it wouldn't necessarily matter if the team won or not, because when people that gamble know that you can bet on anything, it's all kind of different spreads and stuff you can bet on. So it might be like, listen, LeBron coming in under 13 points tonight, and if you owe me this gambling debt and you don't have the money to pay it off, I might tell you, look, I need you to come in under 13. The odds are 100, 250 to 1.
I don't think they play on the players. I think the stuff that's around the players. For example, I think they stick people like who have certain tendencies on certain games. You know what I'm saying? Where they might. I just go back to Scott Foster. They know Scott Foster how he officiates the Rockets or more specifically James Harden is different than how other referees officiated James Harden. Because you'll watch. I mean, I don't think I'm not before they beat the Thunder. Like the Rockets had what Cam lost the last 9-10 games that Scott Foster refereed.
Yeah, because we were talking about that, and then they won that one game.
And then they won the one game against the Thunder. But I mean, if you look at it, you could just tell how he officiates Harden as far as him getting to the line or what he's calling as far as hand checks or 3-ball shots or fouls on jumpers and stuff like that. I mean, I think people have a tendency to play on referees' tendencies per se, not necessarily the players actually point shaving it used to be.
Nah, you won't really see point shaving like that anymore out of professional players because, like I said, you know, the salaries are way higher now, and you know, whatever debt they get into, they can afford to pay it off for. Really, it's really kind of no amount of money you can give, or you can afford to give some of these star players that's already getting $200, $300 million contracts.
Right.
I mean, what are you gonna pay them in one night? That'll actually be worth them going out throwing the game away.
Okay.
Now you can get to some of these officials.
Yeah.
And these refs and tell them, hey, look, I need this many fouls, I need you to lay off tonight, yada, yada, yada. But other than that, you know, the only other place I would really see, I would probably think that there would maybe some point shaving is in college sports.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, especially some of these guys who know they going to the next level.
Right.
Don't give a damn about the institution.
Nah, yeah.
But going back to what Steve said here, and that's a topic maybe where I would be able to like you say, believe that sports can be rigged, especially in 2020. And going back to technology, when I brought that up, I think just kind of the things that you can do to blow a game or just there'd be it's so many cameras, it's just kind of really hard outside of I guess point shaving and just not shooting or like you can almost tell if somebody just tries to do something on purpose. There's just so many cameras. But going back to the point, you see, it's just so many games. Going back to Scott Foster, that in the playoffs, he referees so many Rockets games in the playoffs.
Right.
So many. It just makes you wonder, could the league just say, you know what, man, they got these boys down. They got them down 3-2, man. Scott,
come on in.
Never mind. They don't say nothing to Scott. I don't want people to think they calling Scott Foster and saying going to do nothing, but they know Scott Foster finna get James Harden hell this next game, and that's all the Warriors need to get back into the series because they would rather see. You know, I can see that, but I don't believe that.
See, but when you say that though, I don't think there's more or less rigging the game. I think that's just good betting and understanding the type of officiating that he does.
That's cheating, dog.
When we talk about rigging the game, I'm thinking about somebody having a backroom conversation, knowing hey, this is the objective. This is what this is what we need you to go out here and do. This is what we're trying to accomplish, and go out there and do it.
I think that's just as much rigging as your.
That's the explicit version of rigging right there.
that's just hey, dog, you better miss that shot. That's cool, but I think that's an angle. I think I don't think that's what people who say basketball is rigged. I don't think that's how deep they look into it.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, because I don't think they ever pay attention to who's refereeing the games unless somebody on ESPN tells them.
Right.
But that's interesting. That's a tangent.
Well, real basketball analysts and fans, they'll pay attention to who refereeing the game because I pay attention to who referees fights, and I know they style of reffing. So,
well, I'm glad you. You obviously knew what we were talking about today, but fights, man.
But we can get into that
that's what we at. We here. That's what
cool.
That was it. We here.
Cool.
This what you here for. This what you love to do, man. You know what I'm saying? Fight time, man. It is. We had a big fight last week. Rare fight last week, honestly. Mm-hmm. We had not a unification. Is it a unification? What's it?
It was a unification for all four belts.
I got a list of terminology I'm gonna go through to make sure I educate the people as we talk about this craft, man. Because like Roger say, man, most people don't know shit about boxing, man.
Unifying is basically when it's just 2 or more belts being fought.
Yeah, that's what I read, and I wanted to make sure that was the proper for that one. Yeah. But so you can say the names because I called my boy Lomachenko and Lopez.
Lomachenko. So the fight was between.
How you say his name?
Vasyl Lomachencko.
Vasyl
Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez.
Teofimo Lopez.
Yep.
They squared off. Shout out to the also the promotion teams that rock with local cable networks, so we can get some big fights on TV. So that fight was on ESPN. Yep. That's rare to get a fight of that magnitude on
Top Rank, PBC, all of those guys.
And then on top of that, man, it did almost 3 million views, and that's with the other games they was facing.
Yeah, I was about to say it was a football game on.
Football game on, man.
Yeah, that's good. So
that's big.
But I mean, I think that's what media going now. You see movies just dropping on YouTube. Man. You see not YouTube, Amazon. They dropping media in a whole different way these days.
Make media free again.
I love it. Yeah. That's what we need to put on the hats.
Yeah,
make media free again. I love that, man. Let's get it, man. Hey, man, speaking of making media free, man, make sure y'all hit that button, man. Free media, man. Wildcard TV, man, on YouTube, man. But back to the fight, man. Unification of the titles, man. I'm just gonna say Lopez. Lopez pulled out the win, right? Mm-hmm. And he took all the belts, right? That's the small. We'll get into the fight. I know you're gonna talk your shit about Loma in a second, but let me break down what happened. After the fight is over and Loma takes the L, man. They bring all the belts in the ring.
Yep.
I saw like 5 belts, honestly. I think I saw 5 belts.
Yeah, Loma had 4, Teo had 1.
Yeah. And it just blew me, right?
Yep.
And I called you and I called J Steve. So it's ironic y'all both on today. And I said, bruh, because I'm not like the biggest like background boxing. I don't have a huge background. Like I don't know the ins and outs. Mm-hmm. It's like, damn, that's a lot of belts. I used to watch wrestling and like they had the cruiserweight belt, but that was for a weight class. Right. You know, you got the heavyweight belt and then you got the championship belt. And that belt was just the belt for the champ, right? And I'm looking and I'm just like, I had to go and educate myself. I said, damn, why is there so many belts? Mm-hmm. So I look into it and I realize that it's 4, what is it, boxing commissions? Is that what it's called?
4 major
four major boxing commissions. And let me pull this up.
Commissions and federations and all, you got all kind of stuff.
Let me pull it up on my phone. So you got the IBF.
Yep.
That's the International Boxing Federation.
Yep.
You got the WBA, the World Boxing Association. You got the WBC, the World Boxing Council. They say the WBC is probably the top dog of all of them. That's what I hear. You know what I'm saying? I've been educating myself, baby. And the WBO, the World Boxing Organization, that's the young fella on the block, they say. That's one of the more recent ones in that came around I think it became like a world in the 2000s. I think that's one of the more prominent ones.
Yeah, the newer one.
Yeah, so the old school champs would have never been a WBO champion.
Right.
So with that being said, in each weight class, they got these 4 championship belts. Well, these 4 boxing organizations. Mm-hmm. And then even within, I think it is the it's one of them. It's one of them, y'all correct me here, that also has two separate champs within the commission, right? Mm-hmm. So it has like the regular champ and then it has the super champ.
A super champ.
Yeah. So I say all that to say that it could be 6 to 7 belts running around in a boxing division at a single time. Yep. I don't think there's ever been a time in any history of boxing where I think there were 6 or 7 great champion caliber boxers fighting in any weight class at any time at one time.
And not to mention, on top of that, they've added 1 million divisions on top of the actual.
Y'all want to see that? Y'all, do you need a list? I am here. I got.
I mean, I don't know how many divisions it is, man.
You want to hear it?
Yeah,
I'm here.
Give us the list. Give us the list.
We got the heavyweight. That's unlimited weight, whatever weight. I guess you can. I can go fight. Anybody can fight a heavyweight. Yeah, don't matter.
As long as you're over 175.
Over 175. Yeah. Cruiserweight. That's 200 pounds. Light heavyweight 175. Super middleweight 168. Middleweight 160. junior middleweight 154, welterweight 147, junior welterweight 140, lightweight 135, junior lightweight 130, featherweight 126, 1,000 days later, junior featherweight 122, bantamweight 118, junior bantamweight 115, flyweight 112, junior flyweight 108, strawweight 105. It's a point where you shouldn't even be fighting nobody at 105 pounds. You know what? You know what? I challenge any straw weight in the world to a fight right now. I knock the teeth off.
Those are more for children.
Oh, okay.
But even
Normally you see them dudes from Thailand on the
that too. Yeah.
them little Thailand dudes, man. No offense to people from Thailand, but you know,
a lot of people in the Asian community are
Smaller.
smaller. So yeah, you'll see a lot of Asian fighters at those lightweights, super lightweights, and you know they throw 1,000 punches and they get hit 1,000 times and nobody fall.
nobody fall.
It's just a brawl. So we give all this information, right? That was a lot of information.
Yeah.
I say all that to say, at any given time in these 99 divisions, there can't be 7 great opponents. And to me, that as a casual boxing fan, and I'm gonna ask y'all opinion clearly, as the connoisseurs of the sport, but as a casual boxing fan, that just makes me feel like I'm not seeing the best product. I'm not seeing the best guys fight. Now, when you take a step and look back at it, I see now why Pacquiao and Mayweather didn't box. I see why like Terrence Crawford and Spence don't fight. And one, because I can just jump up 3 pounds. I can put 3 pounds on and go fight. I can go fight for 7 other belts. I don't have to even, if I just get tired of, if I can get my belt here, then go pick up 5 pounds and go fight these other 7 guys for their belt. Yeah. And I never really have to fight you and can say I won 20 belts.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. And it's a few different reasons behind you not seeing the best fights you should be able to see right now. And for one, there should not be 7 belts in one weight class. It's stupid.
At all.
It's stupid. All. At the most, it really should only be 2 at the most. I'm really not a fan of even having 2 belts, but you know, mostly it's about money, and you're able. What happens is you're able to hide your champion from people, because then you got mandatories, and you know they can skip out on the mandatory and go for another fight, and you know for a final they may say, like you said, they may say, well, you know, I'm jumping up to 140 now. After this fight, I'm out of here because there ain't nobody left for me to fight. When you literally got 3 or 4 other guys,
5 other champions you've never fought.
You never fought, but 5 other guys that they're saying can beat you hands down. And then you have this whole thing. A lot of this stuff lies with the promoters. You have a lot of these promoters that hide their fighters, and basically they get them all these fights against all of these journeymen to boost their resume and kind of boost their star power, because when they finally get to the real fight, they want it to actually be worth something. So they want that, you know, the thing is, so you might take a fighter, for example, like Tank, and you might have Tank fight 15 fights where the fighters have at least 3 losses on their resume. You know, you already checked them out. You know, they can't touch Tank with a 10-foot pole. And those 15 fights have padded his resume to the point to where now you can start to demand $4, $5, $6 million a fight for him. So now when it's time for him to fight somebody like a Devin Haney or Teofimo Lopez or Lomachenko or Ryan Garcia, if he just so happens to lose,
at least he cashed out.
Because the way it is now, this is the only gripe I will ever put against my boy Mayweather. Yeah, man, he ruined it, man. He made it to the point to where if you take a loss, you trash, because people are so used to seeing him win so much. And even the young fighters, they want to be like Floyd. It's to the point now where people are really under the pressure to never take a loss. That's why you don't see the fights that you're supposed to see.
You see that with Loma, man. He lost to Lopez, and it was a great fight. I mean, Lopez clearly won the fight, but you hear a lot of people who had Loma pound for pound, top 2, top 3. Now they talking about he trash.
I didn't talk about he trash, but I think I told both. No. I'm not saying that you telling me. I'm saying that I think Loma, I thought he was better than he was because, like I told you, I was like, I didn't necessarily know the guys he was fighting, but one, him being on ESPN, all his fights coming on ESPN, I'm watching him kick dude's ass. I'm thinking, like everything the guys on TV saying, he one of the best pound for pound. But then I watched him get in that ring with Lopez, and I'm like, man, hold on. This not the guy I'm used to cheering for. I didn't put my neck on the line for him. I became a fan. I was talking, Loma going, and it was 6 rounds to the fight, and I couldn't even hop in the group chat, man.
He got lost in the sauce, man. And when it comes to Lomachenko, it's a few things to take into consideration. Now, I'm not gonna say Loma is a bum because he's not. He's actually good. He has great footwork. He has great movement. But Loma didn't really do much better to me than an average great black fighter does. So all this talk about him being, better than Ali and better than Mayweather and blah, 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 and he saw this, he saw that. A lot of that had to do with him being a white fighter that performed at a high level and that was able to compete with, other guys that weren't white, black guys and guys that were of Mexican descent, because really the Latin community and the black community, they dominate boxing. When it comes to the athletes in boxing, they dominate boxing. Like,
I think sports in general. I mean, the Latino community
but
and the black.
Boxing but the thing about sports in general, you can kind of, it doesn't sting as bad because it's not an individual sport.
Right.
That's why, you have people like Floyd and you have people like Serena, they get a lot of hate when it comes to them winning championships and titles because it's a one-on-one thing. It's really mano-a-mano. When you get in that ring or when you get on that tennis court, there ain't nobody there to help you but you.
Right.
It's just me and you.
Right.
You can go to your corner and get advice, but they can't come out here and fight for you. Mm-hmm. And no matter how, you will hype people up and say they this and they that. And so when people take a loss, it's that much harder. But with somebody like a Lomachenko, you had this machine behind them that's promoting them and boosting them. And, he just beat such and such. He just beat Rigondeaux. He just beat this guy, that guy. And when you look at these, and even when you look at these fighters' resumes, yeah, it's good. But me personally, when I watch Lomachenko fight, he does, like I said, he does great things. But a lot of the fights that these fighters were quitting in, when they would say, the fighter threw in the towel or whatever. Now, to me, that looked rigged because when you look at the fight, it's not like Lomachenko was just beating him down into a pulp. It was to the point where people were just getting frustrated because of his footwork and his pivot game was basically getting to the point where people couldn't hit him throughout certain rounds. But even with that, Lomachenko still gets hit a lot. He gets hit a lot. So, me personally, like I told you on the phone, I always knew that when he faced a decent fighter, when somebody like a Devin Haney or Gervonta Davis or even a Ryan Garcia or Teofimo Lopez, when they got their hands on him and he couldn't really, pivot his way around the ring and spin opponents and use his weight against people because he's usually a little bit bigger than
he's normally bigger than everybody.
Yeah, I was about to say, this is the first time I seen him like, geez.
He wasn't going to respond well. And Teofimo did a great job by utilizing his jab and not giving him time to set up and get his own rhythm, not giving Lomachenko time to set up and get his own rhythm going. Because every time he would try to respond, Teofimo would respond with something else. And he was, what we learned about Lomachenko that night, and my bad, J Steve, I don't mean to be taking up all the conversation.
You good.
What we learned about Lomachenko is he can't fight going backwards.
Yeah.
A lot of people didn't know that.
Yeah,
he had to fight off the back.
But I'm about to say, for me, he looked like a little short Tyson with less power because he just always was on the attack. That's what made him exciting to me. He was just always attacking people. But I'm going to let Real get off in here. I know he got a lot to say about the game.
I mean, like Dane said, it's the first time you saw him. And I give him credit. Lopez is a very good fighter, but like Dane said, a lot of times Lomachenko fights somebody he's bigger than, and to be honest, he probably is maxed out at 135. I don't see him. I seen Lopez say he going to 140. I don't think Loma can get any bigger than what he is. He probably need to go back down to 130 where he can have a little bit of a size advantage. But I mean, you like Dave said, man, it's just a machine behind people. Like, for example, I mean, and he's a black guy, but they did the same thing with Wilder. You know, Wilder, we all know that Wilder's very exciting. He has one punch power. I mean, he knock you out, I mean, with just one shot. Don't even have to be clean, you know, all that stuff. But the machine behind him has led people to believe he's a better fighter than what he actually is. So what you see a lot of times is you see these fighters, they fight a lot of journeymen. Like if you look at Wilder and you see he fought 35 people, like if I told you here's $20 and name 3 of them, you couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that goes for a lot of fighters in today's. And like Dane said, I mean, you call it the Mayweather effect. I mean, outside of
all, like one from, go ahead.
Yeah, like outside of what, maybe Canelo, like who's a top-notch name and has a lot of losses. Well, not a lot of losses, but has a few losses on their belt. I mean, on their record.
Canelo, you know, go fight
it's
everybody,
not a lot because that Mayweather effect has had people to believe, like, if you don't win every fight, you're not as great as what you really are.
Yeah, but I don't understand why that's a thing when literally before him there's been like one undefeated fighter.
Well, because how many times have you seen a fighter go undefeated and make $1 billion?
Right. Never happened.
Yeah. I mean, Mayweather ruined boxing.
No, you know what?
Him and Don King.
I'm not going to say Mayweather ruined boxing because what Mayweather did was he actually, you got to understand.
He took the bull by the horns.
He took the bull by the horns, but what you got to understand about Mayweather is Mayweather was an industry within himself. Just a Mayweather fight, you got to understand how much money that brought to not only to the TV networks, to the HBOs and the Showtimes, you know, with All Access and what was the HBO show? HBO show that used to come on
24/7.
Yeah, 24/7. The show that he produced, which received like an Emmy award or something, but. Even that, but you look at the money that came to Vegas, just people traveling to see his fights, people coming to gamble, people coming to bet on the fights, and people within the casinos playing the machines and stuff. Like, he brought billions of dollars to that city every time he fought. And so with his name being that big, like, I won't necessarily say he ruined boxing. He kind of took it to another level. But one thing about it is when your stardom reaches a certain level and you get that big, whenever you get to the point to where you leave, the question is always who's next? Who's the next Mayweather? And you got all these young fighters that see that opportunity and they want to fill those shoes. And not only do they see that opportunity, the promoters see that opportunity. They see how much money Al Heyman and Mayweather made together with Mayweather Productions. You know, and so it's one of those things where we got to find the next big thing. And this is they try to implement the Mayweather formula. See, but to me, it's not really the fact that Mayweather ruined boxing because he never lost. The problem is Mayweather, like Mayweather always says, these kids, they want the Mayweather money, but they don't want to put the work in behind it. Because Pretty Boy Floyd was a knockout artist. Money Made, you know, was like Kobe when Kobe started relying on his fadeaway, other than just going in the hole dunking on everybody. He had to switch his game up because Mayweather had to switch his game up because he broke his hands. So, but at the same time, you still saw him getting up doing 3-a-day workouts, keeping himself in shape on the off season, not gaining 50, 60 pounds in the off season, you know, keeping his diet right, making sure he got his massages, making sure he got his cryotherapy. You know, even if he going out to the club partying and popping bottles, he ain't drinking none of them bottles that he popping and smoking none of that weed. And when he leaving the club, he running home in his Timberlands. He running from the club to the house, taking a nap, going to the gym.
That's lit.
You know, he a machine, man. Nobody work harder than him.
These new age boxers, they not putting in the nearly enough work because I think I said this to you, of any sport I've watched over a long period of time, This is the one sport where I haven't seen the athletes take another step and like show me something we've never seen. Like I understand this boxing, this physical combat, how much more like we don't want to see me punch anybody's necks off or nothing like that. But it actually seems like it's regressed in a bit where you don't see as many. I understand there's styles of fighter. You got a slugger and the boxers and it's just different styles within fighting. But back then, I just think we saw more of those styles. I think we saw more skilled boxers. And I think you see just a lot of athletes like Deontay Wilder just kind of out here.
Well, I have a theory on that, but I'm gonna let.
I have the same. I think we probably about to go the same way with it. What you see now, though, man, is you don't like with these athletes. Like boxing is one of the things you can't play. Like you can play basketball, you can play baseball. Like I mean, to a certain extent, you can play football. But boxing, like Dane said, is an individual sport. So what happens is you don't really see the athletes flock to boxing that used to because they feel like other avenues like baseball, rather football or basketball, is a better avenue to take as opposed to boxing. So I totally agree with you. We should be seeing like more athletic guys. Like there should be more Floyd Mayweather's or more Roy Jones, like as far as the fast twitch movement and the reaction speed. We should see more of those.
Commonplace.
But it's regressing because you just don't see the level of athletes that you used to when it comes to boxing due to, it just not being it's not a very lucrative sport compared to the sports that you can put your kids in these days.
Now I'll give you some pushback on that because I will say it's still lucrative because you still see people like the Charlo brothers and you still see like the Devin Haney's and Gervonta's. They around here, they eating good, but this is what I was gonna say. The reason you seeing so much turmoil and all of that in boxing is because it's really about money on the side of the promoters and on the side of the boxers, right? So you see that these fighters, they hide fighters from each other. So that automatically that kind of lowers the integrity of the sport because you're not making the best fight the best, which means that if a fighter knows, hey, I'm talented, if I could just do good enough to get these 15, 16 fights under my belt, I know I don't really have to be or I don't have to put the work in like that because, listen, I ain't got that fight coming up with Gervonta next fight. I got 3 more fights before that happen. I got time. And then, you can't play boxing, but you can play Instagram. So you got a lot of these fighters, like social media has ruined so many aspects of the community. Everybody wants to be a star. So as soon as these kids get a little bit of money, they want to go out, they want to party with the strippers, they want to holler at the IG models. They want to take vacation. They want to be over in Cabo. They want to be in Dubai. They want to be in Tulum. They want to be in Ibiza. They want to, enjoy these restaurants. They want to pull up in the Drophead Phantom to Mr. Chow's or Philippe's or wherever they eating at or Maestro's or wherever, and then you see these fighters once the fight is over with, these guys, you might see a fighter, hey man, he fight at 145. During the offseason, man, he walking around, he didn't gain 40, 50 pounds. He didn't gain 30 pounds. He walking
Tank
around.
Davis.
I be looking, because what weight does he fight at? Because he be looking fluffy.
Tank
he be looking like Webby on
135, man.
135, but during the offseason, he'll balloon up to 160.
He be looking like Webby.
Weight because he's not in the gym training. So you don't see that progression. You don't never see him going to the next level because the body is a machine. You can't have a production facility and then, during your peak season, you running your production facility like a well-oiled machine. You running your machines, then you shut your machines down for 6 to 8 to 10 months. And then when it's peak season, you want to get back in there and crank that machine back up and start it back running. Nah, parts that got rusty. You gotta clean the oil. You gotta clean the machine again before you can even get it back into production.
And is that why you think we not seeing quality fights either? Because I think we talked about this. They spending more time getting in shape. than they are working on their craft.
Yeah, and I put it like this: during the Lomachenko and Lopez fight, I was never worried, but I felt like Lopez could have done way better. But I could see him, even though the average person may not have seen, I could see him kind of gassing around the 7th.
Because he never fought that long.
Yeah, so you never seen Mayweather get tired in the ring. Ever.
No, that's one thing.
I don't care how hard his fight was. You've never seen him get tired, but you see fighters get past the 6th round, and then they start gassing towards the end of the fight. And that's because their cardio isn't up to par, because they aren't. Cardio is one of those things, it's like a compound effect. The more you do it, the better you get at it. So you can't leave that ring and go and party for 6-7 months, and then when somebody call you and say, hey, you possibly got a fight on the line, now you trying to spend 2 months to get the weight off of you. You know, you trying to drop 40 pounds in 2 months. And you got to drop this weight before you can even get in the gym and start start working on skills. Start skill work, start your pad work, start your sparring, and your bag work and all of this stuff, this fine tuning that you need to do. Now you kind of starting all the way over, whereas you supposed to already still be sharp so that we can work on other skills that you're going to need to have in order to beat this opponent, because styles make fights. And his style is not conducive to the way that you naturally fight. But because we got to get all this weight off of your fat ass, now we can't work on what it is we need to work on that'll help you matriculate or grow to the next level to be able to overcome his overhand right that he gonna throw at you when you get in the ring.
But the piggyback off of that, man, I think one of the reasons why you don't see that is because it is 5 or 6 belts. I mean, let's be real. I mean, Tank can do that because, okay, Tank, he might win 1 belt, and then he got a mandatory, and the mandatory is probably going to be a bum. I mean, so he takes that mandatory fight. He goes back and do balloon up, come back and get in shape again, and he's fighting for another belt on a guy that's probably the 6th or 7th best guy in the division. You know what I'm saying? Like, it really gets back down to the point where it's like, these belts limit what a guy is, because, for example, you see somebody like Spence, for example. I think he has 2 belts. I think Crawford got 1, but like, who has the other belt? You know what I'm saying? Like, for you.
Hold on, cuz I got a full list. Keep going, but I got it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? So, for example, you'll see somebody like that, and that guy who got that other belt, like, obviously he's nowhere near the level that Crawford or Spence is. Mm-hmm. But you see other guys vying for that belt because they don't have to fight Spence or fight a Crawford.
Oh, Manny Pacquiao got the other one.
Okay, but see, that's what I'm saying. Like, Pacquiao has that belt, and Pacquiao fights 1 time a year.
Yeah. Also, I was about to say, so Terrence Crawford has a WBO, Spence has the IBF and the WBC, and Pacquiao has a WBA. And then it says that your Rindis Ugas is the WBA
Ugas,
regular.
Okay. And Ugas is he's a top 5 guy. I mean, probably 6. I mean, you probably put Porter, Spence, Thurman.
Yeah.
Who else? Who did Spence just fight before that?
Yeah, one of the Charlos is in that division too, isn't he?
Right. No, I think Charlo is.
No, he in junior middleweight.
Yeah, he's junior middleweight, so he'll level.
What about Lil Charlo?
Charlo
look like he got one in middleweight and junior middleweight.
Yeah, I think they higher, but I'm saying, like, you see Ugas, he's probably the 6th or 7th best guy in the welterweight division.
Right.
But he has a belt.
Yeah, he's the WBA regular champion. They got another one too. They have hold on, where is it at? They had and Jamal James is the WBA interim welterweight.
And who is that? Who is Jamal James?
That's 6 champions in the welterweight division.
Exactly, man. And so you think about it, bro. Like, all these welterweights, they don't have to touch Porter or Spence and can get them a belt.
They can go fight Pacquiao, Ugas, Jamal James.
Exactly, man. And you think about that for each division.
Champion. And that's stupid.
It's stupid.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Because I believe this, and I got a lot of people I think that agree. You guys might agree that the UFC and just, I guess, we'll say mixed martial arts has overtaken boxing as clearly the more dominant combat sport.
Fights wise, I would say hands down. Money wise, no.
Right.
Now, if you ask like who makes the better fights, it's UFC hands down.
Okay.
Because it's one belt, and you have to fight some top guys to get that belt.
Yeah, and Dana White making them boys fight each other. So
right, man. He's making a fight.
Ain't no IBF over there. It's Dana White, and that's it. Ain't no WBC. It's the what Dana White say going. I like that. Right. That's why.
Exactly.
So I guess that is a 2-layer question because obviously the money, Conor McGregor had to come box to get that to get a check he'll never see again. Yeah. You feel me?
Right. Right.
So I don't think a lot of people understand that. But as far as, because I think most people, it's an entertainment and experience factor. I think the UFC, man, is giving us something special right now, man. And it's making that, I think, is also making it hard for us to get the best product of boxing too, because you see some of the better athletes going back to that thing. Some of the better athletes, even though the money ain't there, is ways to bridge, I think, a little better off the UFC than it is to.
I totally agree. I mean, you look at somebody like John Jones, who is a light heavyweight. I mean, hands down, if he went to boxing, I'm not saying he'd be a better boxer, but he's a better athlete than
that family just athletic. That's a bad that's a bad example.
Or even Izzy, even Adesanya. I mean, if you look at him, he at 185. If you put him up to any 185 athlete in boxing, like he hands down is a completely better athlete than anybody you can find boxing at 185.
Yeah, but John Jones, Chandler Jones, that Jones family, man, they serious.
Oh yeah, man,
they serious athletes over there.
They serious, man.
How can you produce 2 children? See them Plumleys, they ain't got shit on this.
They ain't got
them. What's them other
the Holiday brothers?
They ain't got nothing on this, man. Them Ball brothers, I heard them my cousins. They ain't got nothing on them Jones brothers, man. That blood there is strong. You got 2 top dogs in 2 separate sports, man.
See, I don't necessarily know if I'm ready to die on that hill that MMA athletes are.
That's the word, MMA.
Than boxing athletes. I don't think I'm ready to die on that hill just yet. I have to see more. You got to show me more, because I just know that it was hard for Conor McGregor to be in that ring with Mayweather.
Oh, and I'm not speaking on the boxing technical ability. I'm speaking as far as just the athletic.
Yeah, and I get it, but
measurements and abilities. You know, I mean, if you think of Mayweather is probably not a good comparison, because Mayweather is probably the only one. Maybe him, Roy Jones.
But I'm saying,
but outside of them, I don't know if I would.
Are we talking like stamina and basically footwork and all that stuff, or are we just talking about like the range of techniques as far as like all of the different disciplines?
Well, I mean like the basic measurements as far as strength, speed, reactions, quickness.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to down that hill, because with boxing, boxing is very technical. MMA is technical too, but it's technical when you get on the ground. But boxing is technical. And like you have to think and act at the same time when it comes to a stand-up fight, because all fights end up on the ground. But usually that if you look at an MMA fighter stand-up game, and this is just coming from me, somebody that trained in martial arts and trained in boxing, like real deal train. When you look at an MMA or a martial artist's stand-up game. The stand-up game isn't all that. It's never really that good. It's not really comparable to a boxer's punch, right? Like, because they have such a range of other weapons that they can use.
Yeah, a couple of things somebody can grab you
on your feet. You focusing on grabbing people, but with boxing, I'm focusing on punching. It's five major punches in boxing. You got your jab. You got your right hand, you got 2 uppercuts, and you got a hook. I only have to worry about mastering 5 punches and mastering his footwork, and I'm doing that for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. You got to worry about mastering this technique, that technique, this technique. Bruce Lee said it the best. It's not the person that knows the most techniques that's the most dangerous. It's that person that practiced that kick 5,000 times that you need to worry about. Because he's executed that kick perfectly 5,000 times. Now, this person over here, they might know 480 different techniques, but what's the chances that they're going to know all of them fluently and they're going to be a master at all of them? It's not really that. It's not that big of a chance, but you dealing with somebody that's, been dealing with 5 punches for 16 to 20 years, 24 years out of their life. They had those punches mastered pretty good.
I'm going to sit this one out because I feel like I don't know no better. I don't even.
Well, my only rebuttal to that would be with MMA, the gloves are a lot smaller, so you tend to have punches that wouldn't slip in a boxing match. You will have that slip in an MMA fight. So, so yeah, like the stand-up game looks a little more shakier, but I don't want to use McGregor because, obviously Floyd was playing with him and like carrying him during the fight. Mm-hmm. But if you look at him, the punishment he took in a boxing match versus what he takes in an MMA fight, and yeah, like it's more layers to an MMA fight, but just the fact that the punches can slip through your guard just so much easier. It's really, really hard to have a very, very great stand-up defense game in the MMA compared to boxing.
But I agree with that. But even with that, though, I'm not even talking about like the defense. I'm talking about even the way they throw punches. Like they don't throw punches correctly.
But okay, but I think, and here's where I will step in. Wouldn't that? I would just think that would go into. I wouldn't throw a punch the same at you if I know you can catch it and do something else, as if I would throw it when I know the only thing you can do is either throw a punch back at me or block it. No, you see, I think I would throw a punch differently if I knew that.
A punch is a punch. That's just like if we were to get into a street
But I would throw it differently. If I know you can't grab this, I would throw it differently.
Let me. Do you know how hard it is to catch a jab? A very well placed jab.
If I sell out, I don't know, man.
I don't know anybody ever caught a jab. If you have gloves on, you can at least deflect it a little better. Let me put it like that.
But what I'm saying is,
I'm talking about like a bear.
Oh yeah.
Like I can not like here catch it. No, that's not what I'm talking about.
You're not gonna catch a jab. The best you'll probably do against a jab is slip a jab or maybe parry a jab. But if my hands are lightning fast, right, just from me punching. Well, first of all, you got to take into account I got 16-ounce gloves on. I got a pound on each fist when I'm training. You understand what I'm saying? Like the gloves are smaller. We might fight in 10, 12-ounce gloves when we fighting in a match. But even that is still heavier than the MMA glove. So if I'm punching at record speed in these heavy ass gloves, what you think gonna happen when I take these gloves off and put them little 3-ounce gloves on?
Blood on the leaves.
Yeah, you understand?
Blood on the leaves, man. We finna look. I got a new segment for y'all. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna debut this segment with y'all.
All right.
It's called Hit the Group Chat. And I'm gonna go hit. I get my group chats be lit most of the times throughout the week, except for when my team's losing. But the off-season group chat be litty because there can't nobody hate on nobody. So let's go. So we gonna start visiting. I'm gonna go through like a rapid or just some funny shit and just some of the best shit I've got through the group chat through the week. So we gonna start with a Jamal Adams tweet. We're gonna start real light. Jamal Adams tweeted that DK Metcalf is the new Megatron. And he doesn't want to. Let me just get the tweet so I can make sure. Let me get the tweet so I can make sure.
DK Metcalf is the new Megatron?
Yeah, I just want to make that's the gist of it, but let me make sure I get the exact tweet so that we can respond to it properly. He says DK at DKM14 is the new era Megatron. I'm not arguing with anybody. Have a great Tuesday. October 13th, 2020. How do y'all feel? I know you hadn't watched any football, so this might be just a J Steve question.
Yes, J Steve.
DK Metcalf, the new Megatron, true or false?
True.
This era's Megatron.
True. That's why I say his era. Yeah, true.
I'm inclined to say true as well.
Physically, physically, that dude is just he's next level. I don't. True.
He's a tough guard, a guy who's that big, that street.
Fast,
he looks like
man.
a defensive end.
Yeah.
He runs a 4-3. I just put this guy in perspective for you.
Yeah.
You know who he is? I'm gonna let you see him first.
I know who DK.
Oh, you know who DK is?
Like 6'3", 220,
6'4", 230, 4'3"
225.
speed, and he'll lift his whole building up with one arm.
Yeah.
And he plays wide receiver.
Okay.
And he's been dominant. He out there with Russell Wilson too. And Russell Wilson can spin that football, and he getting him the ball. And right now he really looks like a real deal problem. This is his second year in the NFL. And he's an absolute terror. And he's making plays, just big body, athletic, super physical plays like we saw that guy at Georgia Tech do, man.
And he running and he out there to 4-3.
6'4",
4'3",
230.
And if he making
and he making plays, so it's translating on the field too.
Okay, how many catches?
Let me check out DK Metcalf stats. Let's look at him. Hey, anybody want to come be a stat guy, man? Come holler at me, man. I need a stat guy. DK Metcalf this year. Hold on. He got 16 catches. What is it? How many games they played? 5?
5, 6.
6.
Yeah.
5 or 6 games. He got 16 catches, 403 yards. They had a bye week, by the way.
Okay.
So they didn't play this week.
Yeah. So they had 5 then.
Yeah. 25 yards a catch.
Shit.
3 touchdowns.
He out there doing his thing.
Each game he had 4 catches, 106, 4 catches, 110, 4 catches, 92.
Yeah, that boy official.
Yeah, man. And if you look at the size on him, man, it's nothing like him. It's really nothing like him besides Megatron.
Yeah, I've seen countless memes and pictures of him because
I think he gotten bigger.
Yeah, he looked like a
See, this picture that coming out of college.
Yeah, that don't do him no justice now, man.
Yeah.
I don't think so. Like, look how big this guy is on a football field.
Yeah.
Look how big this guy. Steve, let me show it to him.
Bro, he's like, imagine Derrick Henry playing wide receiver, man.
That's what that is. Next one. Tua Tagovailoa is a starter. I'm gonna get off football after this. Will Tua get the Miami Dolphins to the playoffs in 2 years? True or false, real?
Ooh, I say true. Jets looking bad. Bills are a team to watch for the future. Our Patriots are very, very uncertain. I'll say true.
MJ Cigar aficionado interview came out in its entirety 5 days ago, approximately, sometime this either late last week. It was an interview he did in 2017. They clipped it up a little bit, released a few pieces of it, but they released it uncut in its entirety within the last week. I feel like it's a smear campaign on LeBron James's legacy. Why is MJ releasing so much shit? My boy, it's a smear campaign. I think
he feels threatened.
I really think he feels threatened, and he just letting it all go. He letting it all fly right here, right now. This man just won the finals, and y'all release a 3-year-old interview, Michael Jordan. It's just weird. It's a smear campaign. My boy ain't even got his parade. They trying to usher. They talked about him for 2 days, and they trying to get him out of there.
I won't put it on Jordan per se, because I just me knowing, even though I'm not really a Jordan fan like that off the court. I'm not really a fan of his personality like that. Judging by from what I know about him so far, because of course I don't know him personally, so I can never really just be a true judge of his character. But I won't necessarily put it on him, because just me knowing how the media does and how they spin some stuff and how they make a situation look like something, because that interview was what, 3 years ago?
Yeah, 2017.
Yeah, so I won't necessarily say it's him telling them, hey, release that interview. I don't even think he has that much power over when his interview is released. Unless y'all got some information that I'm not.
Hold on. If you seen that Last Dance documentary, I know you have.
Yeah.
It's one thing for certain that Jordan let everybody know. He is not letting nothing fly without his approval. He is not letting anything fly without his approval.
But I would just hate to think that he's doing that to purposely undermine LeBron. But hey, who knows? He could be that petty. He could be that petty.
I think he
is whack.
I think it is. I don't know. Don't let me. What I'm saying. Let me think. Let you think that I'm saying that this interview particular is calculated. But I think like the Last Dance. I think anytime we hear something about LeBron, anytime LeBron James does something great, Michael Jordan has never been vocal about. Y'all used to always say Michael Jordan, he do all type of stuff for the community. He just don't tell everybody. Now statements. Now all his contributions are in public. Oh, Michael Jordan gave $3,000 to a crackhead on the street yesterday. I'm telling you, man. I think it's a smear campaign. I think they trying to wake up an old ghost, man.
Now that part, I don't think that part, as far as him trying to come out and basically, kind of revamp his legacy, is about LeBron directly. I think it's because now we're moving into a more socially conscious time.
Yeah, he is adjusting with the times. I agree with that.
No. I wasn't even gonna say that. I'm just gonna say black people are starting to wake up. And I think because before, they used to have this whole thing. Michael Jordan invested in prisons, and
the white Michael Jordan.
It wasn't MJ number 23 MJ, but he knew that shit was going on around about him, and he never made it a point to come out and say, hey, nah, I would never do anything like that. I love my people to not do anything like that.
And he
just was on some like, well, shit, I mean, if they believe it, it is what it is. But now that we waking up and he's seeing that people, like, black people are serious. Like, we boycotting companies, and we basically leaving companies that are detrimental to us and are showing us, well, for the most part, because we could do a lot better. But that for the most part, black people are waking up, and we kind of doing away with toxic corporations and brands that have not contributed anything to the community. So I think his team, his PR team is privy to that. Nike is privy to that, and anybody else that's profiting off of the Jumpman brand is privy to that. So they telling him, like, look, this is what his PR people are in full effect. Look, we're gonna get these interviews out here. Look, you need to get some money to Black Lives Matter. You need to,
I can work with that.
Commit X amount of dollars to this.
I can
and
work
X
with
amount
that.
of dollars to that. So it's not necessarily about LeBron, but LeBron could be factored in that.
I'd much rather it be a smear campaign than what you said it was, though. It fits my narrative, man.
I feel you.
Hey, but look, we got to wrap it up, man.
Hey, man, hold on. Before we wrap it up.
What up?
I'm really ashamed at you, bro. Can I get you brought up DK Metcalf, and we ain't getting no Jordan Jefferson love on the.
Oh, shout out to
pod,
my boy
bro.
Jordan Jefferson.
Come on, man. We got to get some gritty
shout
in here,
out to
bro.
Jordan Jefferson. Shout out to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Shout out to Joe Burrow, all my LSU guys.
I ain't asked for all that, man.
You
I just
shouldn't have brought
wanted
it
some
up.
Jordan Jefferson love.
Yeah, Jefferson, man. Justin Jefferson, not Jordan. Jordan is the. Jordan.
I meant Justin. My bad.
Yeah.
Dang, I'm messing. Hey, Justin Jefferson, best rookie wide receiver in a long time, a very long time. The Vikings, they stank it up though, man.
Okay. Also, another shout out to my guy, Real Steve, man. He gets married. End of the month, October 31st. I want everybody to give my boy a big congratulations, man.
Go ahead and jump off the cliff.
Jump off the cliff, man. Congratulations to my guy. Yeah, there ain't no water there, bro. Get your parachute like in a duty and put your mark down and get down.
Man,
you don't want to break them legs.
We're going to land at the DZ, bro.
Yeah, we do not break them legs and do not drop in we don't drop it. The stadium, bro. We don't drop in stadium, bro.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but
appreciate it, my guy.
Nah, shout out to everybody that's a part of the Wild Card Sports Podcast Facebook group.
Yeah, shout out to the Wild Card Sports Talk. Shout out to our listeners. Who?
I don't know. Shout out to
top
commenters.
My boy Moolah Mall, he always be in there. Shout out to my boy Caldwell Dempsey. He be in there getting it in. Let me see who in me. Dwikey Law. Shout out to Vino. Shout out to everybody who hold us down, man. Shout out to our listeners, man. Shout out to our viewers on YouTube, man. Wildcard TV. Make sure you go out there. Shout out to our followers on social media, man. We love you. Shout out to Daton, man, for coming through, pulling up, getting that good
shout out to
fight talking. Black-owned brands. Shout out to, man, I got a lot of stuff. Shout out to Casey's Candles. Right here, got the fresh candle on the table, man. I burning this the spa days, man. Make sure y'all go holler at Casey's Candles. Pharaoh, he's changed his name to, is it now Pharaoh, I think? Mm-hmm. It is now Pharaoh clothing line coming up. He was working, it was Christian Henry first. Yep. He's been, working with the NFL, fitting players in draft day suits, man. Make sure y'all tap in with him. Who else we know?
Get you an Amir James hoodie.
An Amir James hoodie. Just what's the black bank that Killer Mike starting?
Oh, the digital bank.
Digital bank, Facebook bank, Instagram bank.
I can't even think of the name of it right now, but shout out to it.
Shout out to it, man. Shout out to all black people excelling, man. Shout out to Rail for coming on, man. I appreciate everybody.
Vote.
Make sure y'all get out here and vote. And don't wait till election day, man. If you wait till election day, the chances of you voting go down tremendously. I don't care. All this talking y'all doing, all this talk has come down to it. Put your money where your mouth is. Make sure you vote. HasBeens Podcast, episode 9. It's your boy Cam Will, man. We out.